All right, so the latest addition to my burgeoning home arcade, I got the 40th edition Pac-Man cabinet from Arcade1Up. Now this one here actually has more games than the original Pac-Man cabinet that they had released, which I think only had 2 or 3 games on it. But this one has a bunch more on there. In fact, you can kind of see them right here, which Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Super Pac-Man, Pac-and-Pal, Pac-Land, Pac-Mania, and Galaga, which I think is a little weird to include that game on there. Although I guess if you were going to be somebody who's going to get that many games and maybe didn't want to have extra cabinet there, you might not get the Galaga game already. But that's neither here nor there. I wanted to get this one because it had the extra games. It had the comes with the custom riser, not the generic logoed Arcade1Up riser, and all the extra games there. So I'm going to go ahead and get that thing built. Yeah, so let's have some fun with this. All right, I have got everything unboxed. Now, I'm not going to bore you this time with the actual construction of the thing. I'm simply going to jump cut over to the thing when it's all built up. But I wanted you to see it as it's all unpacked here. You can see the deck here. It looks kind of gray there because there's a little plastic protection film over the protection deck there. But that's the main deck there, the magic where everything happens. This is the screen, excellent colors. Again, there's a little plastic film on there. Now, before in the instructions for the Galaga game, this was actually all built in the cabinet when I took the protective layer off. And what happens is though is the very top edge there and the bottom edge are actually covered up by the by other parts of the unit, and so it left little tiny pieces of plastic that were stuck in there. So I might take it off as I build it. Now this particular unit also comes with a pair of stereo speakers, so that's a 2-speaker unit right there, and the light-up marquee. So again, this is the 40th anniversary edition, which is why it has these nicer features, even though it's maybe just a little bit more than the original one, and probably from what I understand, compared to the Gen 1's, better construction. It definitely shipped better. Everything came in one piece, and here you can see the classic Pac-Man side panels here with the wood grain, which I think entailed, basically indicated that it was a special edition or a new machine there. So. And then the front kick panel. So I'll go ahead and get going on this thing, get it all built up, and then I'll show you the end results. That's the riser there, by the way. And that's what this thing will be stacked upon so that it is at the right height to play. So there it is, all built. Standing on the 40th anniversary riser there. Yep, 1980. I was but a mere sprite at 10 years old when this thing first came out. Haven't turned it on yet. I'm going to get it moved into position next to the Galaga game there in a moment. Hello, everybody. She's ready to plug in and ready to be played with. We'll see how she handles. Okay, let's turn this thing on, see what happens. Oh, look at that. The light-up marquees are cool, I do have to admit. Loading, screen works. Oh wow, they really updated the intro screen there. And then we can use the joystick to move between games. We'll go ahead and start with Pac-Man, I guess. There you go. Just like the original. I like it a lot. All right, we'll get all set up there and then we'll give you a little playthrough. And here we are, ready to start our first play on the Pac-Man 40th Anniversary Edition. Go ahead and see how it feels. If it's anything like the Galaga game, the controls are going to feel great. So we're going to go ahead and... Oh man, nice. So the volume control is a lot easier to use. Nice. So, one of the things about a game like this, obviously, is when there's a lot of movement, the cabinet's going to shift around a little bit. Now, it's on carpet, which probably doesn't help much. Sorry, I got kind of wrapped up there with the game. That shit just gets louder and louder. There you go. Screen number 1 done. Now, what I was saying is that unlike the Galaga game, there's only 3 positions on the Galaga game. There's no volume, regular volume, and then loud. With the Pac-Man game, which I guess this is now like a Generation 2, or it's obviously a little bit later, newer, I guess, plus 40th edition, it actually the volume control is granular. So as you click it, you can start from 0 and go all the way up to like 15, whatever that is, which I guess is the loudest setting. And then you can adjust it accordingly. So you can definitely adjust the volume a lot more readily in this particular case. But yeah, but as I was saying also, is like with a game like this one here, where you're yanking on the joystick quite a bit, the game will shift around as you play it. I'm on carpet, so it probably moves a little bit more. Maybe if I was on a more solid surface, on like hardwood or concrete, it probably wouldn't be as jiggly. But you know, it's not a full-size game. It's not a full-size cabinet with a lot more mass to it. So not a big deal, but it feels great. It looks great. Again, I like the fact that they have these little deck protectors now to make sure that you don't mar the finish on the thing. And overall, I mean, it looks really cool. And the light-up marquee, as it gets a little bit darker, it stands right out, and it feels really good. And again, for the price, you know, compared to a full-size cabinet that you know, that might have like 600 games or whatever on there. I mean, this has only got a few, but again, these are officially licensed, you know, so we're not dealing with MAME and, you know, any bugs as far as that's concerned. And no, it works. It works great. I really like it. And yeah, so as we take a closer look at my overall sort of arcade, my beginning arcade setup here, you'll see the very beginnings of what I hope is a nice little game room. So there's both my games so far, side by side, the Galaga and the Pac-Man. Now without the light-up marquee, the Galaga looks a little dark, I guess, compared to the Pac-Man game, but that's okay. You know, I guess there's custom kits out there that allows you to replace that marquee with a light-up version. So maybe I'll do that a little bit later on as I get more into this. But yeah, that's the beginning of my man cave, or man house at this point. Obviously, you know, being single and everything else, I can do whatever I want. I don't have a place specifically set aside as a game room, but this is the beginnings of a game room, I guess, from that standpoint. Again, as I was talking about in my previous videos, I'm looking at getting the Star Wars cabinet eventually, and anything else that that comes along that looks interesting. I really hope that I can find the Rampage cabinet as well. That was a Gen 1 as well, and it doesn't look like they're making them anymore, so I might have to go and see if anybody has one on eBay or anything like that, because it has a couple of my favorite games on there, which is Joust and Rampage and Defender on there. So a couple of games that I really want to get my hands on. And yeah, so I'll be on the lookout for that. And if I get a hold of that one, I will put up another video on that. Otherwise, eventually I will get the Star Wars cabinet and I'll do a video on that one. I'm trying to decide if I want the sit down or the stand up. I guess at this point I should just do stand up because it won't kick out as far into the room as the sit down version would. Gonna have to get a couple stools as well to make that look nice and kind of turn it into almost like a little bar area. So, all right, well, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, give it the thumbs up. Go ahead and smash that button there. Give it a share, comment if you have any ideas about other games that you would like me to get and build and test for you. And I will see you next time.